Have you ever just wanted to bully a monster by beating its face in so hard that it doesn't even want to fight back anymore? Alright, cool, you're in the right place. Welcome to my first Sword and Shield build for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. Real quick, if you find this build fun or this video helpful in any way, please consider subscribing if you're new here or hitting that thumbs up because those help a ton. This build is different from ones I've posted in the past because it is focused 100% on damage. You are a glass cannon here, so stock up on the mega armor skins and keep that health at full because something tells me that Flaming Espinas is going to be a hard hitter. This is my version of the Male of Hellfire build, and the weapon is going to be the Spirit Stealer Scorned Magnamalo Sword and Shield. This weapon is a little more important to the build than in builds past. The slots are the main thing here. The 3 and the 2 slots are really big. But I would say if there's another sword and shield you like with at least a 3 slot, you'll be good for this build. So for those of you who don't know how Male of Hellfire works, basically when a monster is enraged, you get Hellfire Cloak. And that greatly boosts your attacks, either elemental or raw, depending on the scroll. Red for raw, blue for elemental. And also lowers your defenses / resistances. I have not put together an elemental version of this build, so I do stick mainly to the red swap scroll. But for Sword and Shield, I always run a raw and an elemental focus swap scroll anyway, so it kind of works for me. I'll go ahead and show you what I run for those. In the red swap scroll, which is the raw swap scroll, not only because I want it to be, but also for the Male of Hellfire effect. We are rocking the Sliding Slash, Hard Basher combo, Sword and Shield combo, Metsu Shoryugeki, and Falling Shadow. That one's going to be focused a lot on shield bashes, counters, and just getting to the monster's head, and maybe going for a tail chop or 2 whenever he's down on the ground. For the blue swap scroll, we are rocking the Advancing Slash, the Drill Slash combo, Twin Blade combo, Windmill, and Shield Bash. If you notice, these are more focused around getting lots of hits with your blade, and inflicting as much elemental damage as possible. Shield Bash is in slot 5, just as kind of like a defensive option because I took Metsu out and I wanted something there. But again, these are just what I roll. You can run whatever you want. The most important thing is your raw focused build is going to want to be on the red scroll, and if you have an elemental focused build, you are going to want that on the blue scroll for purposes of the Male of Hellfire build. Let me know down in the comments if you have any good switch skill combos that you would recommend trying for either of these setups. So looking at the weapon, I already said it is the Spirit Stealer Scorned Magnamalo Blade. This does have a sweet 3 and a 2 slot for the decos, as well as a level 2 Rampage slot, rocking the Hellfire and Sharp Jewel, as well as the Anti-Dragon, Anti-Aquatic, whatever jewel you want. I'm really low on mats, so I haven't really augmented this weapon or the core of this build, which is nice because you can basically do what I'm doing stock, but just know that there are optimizations you can make with augments down the road. So far, we only have the affinity augment for the plus 5%. I'm sure I'll go raw or something like that for the second augment. So while I said the core of this build is not augmented, there are 2 armor pieces that are. That is the helm and the boots. The Kaiser Crown X is what we are rocking for the helm here. Mine is augmented for 1 level of protective polish, which is just kind of nice. It's not necessary. You can still pump damage without that augment. This helm does have 3 level 1 deco slots. We have 2 grinder jewels and a brace jewel. And so altogether we're looking at 3 levels of critical eye, 1 level of critical boost, 2 speed sharpening, 1 flinch free, and 1 protective polish. The chest piece is going to be the Sinister Grudge Garb. This is the Scorned Magnamalo chest. Has a 4 slot and a 1 slot. We are using the Crisis Jewel for Resuscitate and the Drain Jewel there. Altogether, this is going to give us Male of Hellfire level 1, Wirebug Whisperer level 2, Resuscitate level 2 for that bonus damage while inflicted, and Stamina Thief level 1. The gloves are the Sinister Grudge Gauntlets. These have a 3 and a 2 slot. I'm using the Hellfire Jewel as well as a Critical Jewel here. Altogether, this will give us Male of Hellfire 1, Counter-Strike 1, Redirection 1, Hellfire Cloak 1, and Critical Boost 1. The waist is going to be the Sinister Grudge Tassets. So your chest, gloves, and waist are all Scorned Magnamalo pieces. That is the core of this build. And like I said, none of these are augmented right now. This has a 4 slot, a 2 slot, and a 1 slot. we're using the Hellfire Jewel 4, Critical Jewel 2, and Drain Jewel 1. This gives us Mail of Hellfire 1, Coalescence 1, Hellfire Cloak 2, Critical Boost 1, and Stamina Thief 1. And finally, we have the Mal Zeno Greaves. Like I said, these are augmented. They are carrying a Blade Scale Hone and a level 2 slot upgrade, which honestly, if you can get the level 2 slot upgrade, I'm gonna say that's pretty important for this build, but you could always swap Protective Polish for that last weakness exploit if you really need to. The Blade Scale Hone is just kind of nice, especially if Protective Polish runs out. One level does give you quite a bit of sharpness when it activates. The decos I have in the boots are a Hard Steadfast Jewel 4, Tenderizer Jewel 2, and Spirit Bird's Call Jewel 1. Altogether, this will give us Blight Resistance 2, Weakness Exploit 2, Attack Boost 1, Stun Resistance 3, Spirit Bird's Call 1, and Blade Scale Hone 1. Now, I know you see that Blight Resistance there and you're worried about how this is going to work with the Hellfire Cloak. As far as I can tell, it does not affect it at all. My Hellfire is up basically the entire fight, and I don't notice any difference with it disappearing during dodge rolls or anything. So I'm going to go ahead and say Blight Resistance is safe for this build. If it's not and I'm totally stupid, let me know. But based on my testing, Hellfire Cloak still works fine. And finally, if you have seen any of my other build videos, you know what talisman we are using. This is probably closest to a God talisman I've ever gotten. It's Attack Boost 3 with a 2 and a 1 slot. We are slotting Weakness Exploit and Stamina Thief 1 here. And so looking at all of our perks together, by the time I recorded this screen, I did start augmenting the chest and stuff. So there are some extra perks, but I'm only going to read out the ones that you should have based on what I shared so far. Looking at everything that we've gone over in this video, you should have Attack Boost 4, Hellfire Cloak 4, Critical Eye 3, Critical Boost 3, Weakness Exploit 3, Stamina Thief 3, Stun Resistance 3, Mail of Hellfire 3, Resuscitate level 2, Protective Polish level 2, Blight Resistance level 2, Speed Sharpening level 2, Flinch Free, Wirebug Whisper level 2, Counter-Strike level 1, Coalescence level 1, Redirection level 1, Spirit Bird's Call level 1, and Blade Scale Hone level 1. Like I said, friends, with this build, you are a glass cannon, so do be sure to stack up on those Mega Armor skins. And even if you think you have enough health, you probably don't, so make sure you're topped off at all times. That is all for this build, friends. Thank you so much for checking it out. Let me know if you enjoy it or if you try it out yourself. What changes would you make to it? Don't forget I'm streaming every single night over at twitch.tv/precision. Not only am I grinding the Afflicted Investigation materials on my Switch, I'm also grinding through Master Rank on my PC save. So if you want to join those hunts, feel free to hop in anytime. I got a couple new builds on the way, so you're going to want to stay subscribed for some more. Thank you so much for watching this video. Good luck on those augment rolls, and I will see you in the next one.